Qualifying heat here on Heat State. It's race 13 of the meeting, Junior Rotax Heat 3, and here is your starting grid. Kai Rilets and Rafael Renhofer start from row 1 with Rilets on pole, Turlu and Mega on row 3, and it's Lukas Schlegel, Alberto Kiko Fracassi, Ethan Jeff Hall, Samuel Ifrid, Mikkel Pedersen, Janis Diak, Bruno Mollers, Thomas Strauver, Nick Trobeck, Vic Stevens, Nick Gerhards, Austin Lee, Lewis Detling, Sam Argun, Vinnie Phillips, Marius Rose, Jimmy Kokalainen, Danny Shields and Aljaz Vidmar. Now I had a chat with Danny Shields' dad Barry that the pin in the carburetor on the engine was what was causing the problem and caused Danny to slow, and that's not really been a technical fault that I've actually heard of before, or that anyone's really heard of before. However, the youngster managed to get P11 after penalties were applied post heat number 2. So we'll be down to Rilets and Renhofer to control the pace, and it will be another 7 minutes plus an additional lap of racing. Red lights are on the starting gantry for the Junior Rotax division for their final heat on the final heat state of the season, day 149 of said season as well. Nearly 5 months for this 2021 journey. As there is one driver that is slowing at the back of the field, and that is, I think that might be Ethan Jeff Hall, because the field is about to go through. So, full start has been called because of the car slowing down at the end of it. And that was actually, no, that was not Ethan Jeff Hall, that was Vinnie Phillips. So 287 Vinnie Phillips. His race has not even gone and started before it even began. That's a real shame for him. He's done great work in the first 2 heats. Now, unfortunately, the youngster from Great Britain has to sit by the sidelines. So it was the second full start because of what has just happened with a mechanical breakdown for Vinnie Phillips. I really feel sorry for the guy. So we restart, we hit the control alt delete buttons on the keyboard and get ready to go racing. So the drivers now get into formation. Right, second time of asking, into the tram lines. Are we ready? Revs rise, full start, second one. Race director not happy with that formation. So full start has been called. So red flag has just been called, the second full start. And now the race director will head down to the front of the grid and have a little discussion with the drivers before we get things back underway and try for a third time to get this third and final Junior Rotax heat started. So they have given Vinnie Phillips an opportunity to restart the 287, but unfortunately he will not be taking the start. So they've given him an opportunity to see if the kart will fire up, and unfortunately that is not the case. So they will give us another formation lap, and then we'll try and get this race underway for the third time of asking. So one formation lap. The drivers make their way off the starting grid and get back underway around the 1,190 meter circuit here at Wackersdorf. So the red lights reignited on the starting gantry for the third time. 7 minutes plus an additional lap. So once again, it's down to Kai Gielertz and Rafael Renhofer to control the pace on the rolling starts. Field now starts to concertina and slow to a crawl. Right then, third time of asking, into the tram lines. Revs rise, are we ready? This time we're lights out and away. As Turlu gets the jump on Renhofer going through into turns 1, 2 and 3. And Turlu runs a little bit wide coming out of the apex of the corner. And that nearly gave the opportunity for Renhofer to slingshot up the inside. But there has been a drama. 3 karts involved at the back of the field. And there's a bent wheel on one of the karts. That's the kart that is actually stuck on the outside apex of turn 4. One of which involved that could be Aljaz Vidmar maybe, I'm not sure. But Danny Shields was unfortunately was caught up in that, as was Marius Rose from Denmark in the 228, but it's all kicking off at the front of the field because now Farhan Mega has just been passed by Ethan Jeff Hall. Across the line to complete lap number 1, it's Kai Gielertz, Renhofer, then it is Turlu, then it is the 237 of Austria's Lukas Schlegel. Ethan Jeff Hall now makes his way up into P5 ahead of Farhan Mega, who's coming under fire from the likes of Mikkel Pedersen and Bruno Malders, and you factor in the likes of Alberto Kiko Fracassi, Nick Gerhards and Austin Lee, who complete the top 12. And Bruno Modders trying to go side by side with one of the drivers that was going through turn 7. Has to relinquish the position back. And that would have been Nick Trobek in the 280. And that was the battle for 8th and 9th position. Some great racing happening at the moment as quite a few drivers. Oh, Nick Gerhards clumsily goes up the inside of possibly Nick Trobek. That's going to open the door for drivers behind. Austin Lee is in the middle of the thick of things there. He's a little bit hung outside to dry behind the likes of Alberto Kiko Fracassi. Gielertz leads, but it's an absolute swarm of junior Rotax drivers going up into turn 3, the likes of which you're going to see Lukas Schlegel, Renhofer, Turlu, Jeff Hall, Pedersen and Mega. That's the top 7, and it's all kicking off behind. So that was unfortunately Jimmy Kokalainen that had the bent wheel. So the Finnish driver unfortunately coming off worse. Marius Rose and Danny Shields look to be at the back end of the field. And they will be trying to close up on those in front. But at the front of the field there is a train of 7 karts being led by Kai Gielertz, who won the opening race. Earlier on, finished, I think it was P6 initially on a provisional basis. As Ethan Jeff Hall has now made his way past Lukas Schlegel from Austria, and Mikkel Pedersen and Farhan Mega looking to get past the Austrian in the process. And that could put them both into 5th and 6th respectively. 3 minutes and 53 seconds still to go in the race. Top 15 rounded out by the likes of Thomas Strauver, Austin Lee and Janis Stiak. So Jimmy Kokalainen a confirmed retirement. Vinnie Phillips unfortunately a confirmed retirement, but there has been a little bit of a change. Now has there been a bit of a drama for Lukas Schlegel? Because I just saw Foreign Mega go past. And that is the case. Lukas Schlegel now coming into the clutches of Bruno Molders, going through into the chicane and into the right-hander at turn 3. But the top 4 at the front of the field being led by Hillertz. Then it's Renhofer, then it's Turlu, then it's Jeff Hall. As Molders up the inside of Schlegel. Schlegel retaliates up the inside through turn 6. Neatly done by the Austrian, but the pair clash coming out into turn 7. And that's going to allow Alberto Kiko Fracassi from Italy to latch onto the back of that train, along with Nick Trobeck, followed by Nick Gerhards, Louis Detling, Thomas Strauver, Janis Stiak, Austin Lee, and then the 269 of Vic Stevens from Belgium. They complete the top 16 positions. And at the moment, the fastest lap of the race goes to Italy's Alberto Kiko Fracassi, down in 9th place. And he's closing on Bruno Molders. Lukas Schlegel looks to have resumed a position in front of Bruno Molders and stays P7. Foreign Mega in the meantime has got past Mikkel Pedersen for P5. 2 minutes and 20 plus an additional lap still to go in the battle behind, led by Schlegel, who's got Molders is looking up the inside, and then all of a sudden Nick Trobeck sends it up the inside of Fracassi. Oh, running wide goes Schlegel, and Molders is hung out the outside to dry through turn 8. They managed to make it through. I don't know how they've done that, and it's 2 abreast going into the chicane. And Nick Gerhard's looking up the inside of Bruno Molders going into turn number 11. Everyone's nearly tripping all over each other's tyres. And it's quite a few drivers in there. All the 212 steamrolls up the inside of Fracassi there. And that's Aljaz Vidmar. But Fracassi manages to keep out of harm's way. But it's all kicking off. Well and truly, Thomas Strauver's got past. Bruno Molders, who now drops to 11th position. As up the inside of Matti Surlo goes Farin Mega through turn number 6. As it's rally crossing, and Trobeck spins round 180 degrees. Schlegel has to cut the track in avoidance and nearly comes into the racing line, and he gets tagged from behind. It's concertinaing everything behind. That has caused absolute disaster for both Lukas Schlegel and Nick Trobeck. Trobeck went hurrying up the inside. They came side by side out of turn 6, and all of a sudden Trobeck spun around. Schlegel had to cut the track in avoidance, and it still isn't done with yet. Less than 60 seconds on the clock. So Jimmy Kokalainen and Vinnie Phillips out of the race, but there has been absolute pandemonium out on the track, and it still isn't done with yet, because Danny Shields is battling away with Marius Roos, Louis Detling, Sam Argum and Nick Trobeck, who's dropped down to the back of the order. Well, Trobeck's actually well out away from that battle. 26 seconds on the clock remaining, and Ethan Jeff Hall in the meantime has got past Rafael Renhofer for P2. Farin Mega rounds out the top 4 ahead of Matti Sturlo. Thomas Strauver now up into P8 and is trying to close in on Thomas Strauver from Belgium. Timer about to expire. About 5 seconds as Hillertz crossed the line. Ethan Jeff Hall is pushing, but so is Farin Mega. 51.042 from the German in 4th place. But now Ethan Jeff Hall is in the lead. He got past Hillertz going through into turn 4, and there goes Renhofer up the inside of the 274. Farin Mega is right up close and personal with the 274 from Belgium, who now is sitting in 3rd place. We've got one more lap to go after this one, but Ethan Jeff Hall hits the front of the field. And again, he started P7 in this race. And with one more lap to go after this, he's just got to keep his head down, knuckle down, get the job done, and win. Through into the final couple of corners. Last lap board has been prepared, and it's going to show, first of all, to Ethan Jeff Hall, who leads from Rafael Renhofer. Hillertz, Mega in 4th. Torlu and Pedersen ran at the top 6. As Farin Mega closing in on Hillertz going into turn 4, but he nearly opens the door for Mattis Turlo by nearly outbraking himself. As Austin Lee running at the top 15, battling away with Samuel Ifrit from Switzerland. And where Thomas Strauve is at the track, on the track at the moment, going through turn 7 and 8. He's battling away with the likes of Nick Gerhards, Bruno Molders and all. But Ethan Jeff Hall is just trying to hang on. He's got 3 more corners, including this hairpin to go. So over the bump for the final time. Ethan Jeff Hall, 2 more corners to negotiate. And he puts the pedal to the metal. And out of the final corner, Great Britain's Ethan Jeff Hall wins Heat 3. Raphael Henhofer takes 2nd. Gilets takes 3rd. Fine Mega takes 4th. Matthijs Tuller rounds out the top 5 ahead of Mikkel Pedersen. As Thomas Strauve takes 7th. Janis Diak. It was a dead heat between him and Nick Gerhards at the line. But Janis Diak, on the basis of his fastest lap, takes the position. Bruno Molders ends up 10th. Ahead of Aljaz Vidmar, Lukas Schlegel, Alberto Kiko Fracassi in 13th. Austin Lee beating Samuel Ifrit to 14th. With Marius Rose, Sem Argun, Lewis Detling, Danny Shields, Nick Throbeck and Vic Stevens rounding out the 21 that finished. With Jimmy Kokalainen eliminated through an incident on the inside of turn 4 in lap 1. And Billy Phillips unfortunately not able to make the start.